What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the real Jim Jeans, and I'm coming to you with a little heart to heart, I guess you could kind of say. Today, really, I just want to kind of talk about, how I'm going from being a trapper to an entrepreneur, right? And a lot of people might look at me and think, ooh, whoop-de-fucking do, this guy fucking trapping to entrepreneurship, bruh, right? But it's not just the fact that I want to do that. Like, it's not the fact that I'm trying to hop up out of trapping and, having my little bit of motion. I ain't no fucking kingpin. I ain't the biggest fucking trapper in the world, trap star, nothing like that. Look, for a long time, I was just doing what I had to do to keep myself afloat. And that was cool with me, you know what I mean? I got to smoke good, and I always smoke good for free. And that was really the most important thing to me, and making money, of course. That's always a benefit of being in the game. But, you know, for the last couple of months, and this isn't a bad thing, right? But becoming a dad and, you know, becoming a man, like, it really does take a lot. Like, and it really does like make you look at the way you look at life sometimes. Like, look, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I'm not trying to, I'm not bashing nobody. I say it is what it is. Everybody got to hustle, bro. Everybody got to find a way and figure out a way to make it to the top. Everybody trying to make it to the top, bro. That's it is what it is at the end of the day. Everybody wants to make it to the top. Not everybody has the heart to hustle. Not everybody has the heart to get up every day and take a chance to get rich. Not saying that that's exactly what I was doing. In a sense, yeah, I was getting up every day and I always had a plan to make money, or I always knew money was gonna be in my pocket. You know, that was just the luxury of being a hustler. You know what I mean? And don't get it wrong, I'm hustling, and I'm trying to hustle in a different way. I just kind of want to talk about it because, like, not I don't think everybody always talk about it. Like, there's this big stigma out there that people that sell weed or pot or whatever you want to call it, everybody who sells bud, everybody has this stigma like, oh, they a bad person, this is a bad person. Bro, do I look like a motherfucking bad person? I'm a cool dude. And, I'm pretty sure there's people out here or out there that will say I'm an asshole and they don't like me and they don't like my opinions, they don't like my jokes, and they don't like how I am as a person. But you know what? At the end of the day, in my opinion, they could fuck off. Because nobody's in my shoes. Nobody's had to do the things that I had to do. Not saying I was doing anything crazy or anything like that. I'm just out here trying to make some money. And that was really just the most important thing to me at the end of the day. Making money, having enough to smoke, and being able to live. Like, I'm not trying to hurt nobody. I ain't never hurt nobody, bro. If you know anybody that knew me, they will never tell you I did them wrong, or they won't never say that if something was wrong that I ain't never try and fix it and get them back right. Because at the end of the day, hey, bro, we all trying to just smoke good, bro. We just trying to smoke good. That's just how it is at the end of the day. And no matter what, I'm always smoke good, right? But I've been doing this shit for a long time. Like, and I'm not gonna get into the economics and the financials and shit like that. Like, oh, fucking, if you get this many packs and you flip this, no. I don't care about none of that. Really, at the end of the day, what I care about really is, I want to see a change and the policies that are out there for marijuana and whatnot, because realistically, really, the reason why I hopped out the game really is because I got jammed up, right? Not nothing crazy, bro. And I shit kind of just, you know what I mean? They just do that bitch. And I'm grateful for it. I'm extremely grateful for it. But, just kind of going through the system and seeing what it was like. Because at the end of the day, it's like my big brother tells me, if it's mine, it's mine. And at the end of the day, my business is my business. So I'm always gonna take the fall for my shit. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm gonna say on that. Like really, at the end of the day, I had to man up and take my responsibility on my own shit. Cause you know, a real man shit. I'm not gonna let nobody else go down for my failures or my fuck ups. Like I fucked up, and you know, it's just part of the circumstances that I'm in. You know what I mean? I always felt comfortable in doing what I was doing, but up until my son was about to be born, you know, shit was smooth before that. But having a baby, having a son, having to go through what I went through. I'm not saying I went through anything bad. I just fucking spent a night in jail or whatever. But still, at the end of the fucking day, it makes me look at life a little bit different. I appreciate all the things that I have. And I want more. And I think that that's really an important part to stick out there. Is like, you know, even though people are hustlers and people are out here, you know, with the pie and the cheese or whatever, you know, man, it's gonna happen no matter what, right? But I always thought that I did it the right way. You know what I mean? I look out for people. If you ain't got it, if I fuck with you, you know, it is what it is. I throw it to you. But if you play with me, bro, I ain't gonna fuck with you like that. It was never nothing dire or anything I felt like I had to hurt anybody for. Like really, at the end of the day, again, it was just about smoking good and making sure other people smoke good. Cause everybody want to smoke good, but not everybody can smoke good. And not everybody's lucky to be in a state where it's legal recreationally. You know, a lot of people, I mean, here in North Carolina, South Carolina, they got the THC 8, Delta 8. But we're not trying to smoke none of that shit, really, you know. And yeah, I'm not really sure if I'm making any really solid points here, right? But I just want to see reform in this shit. I don't think people should be getting locked up for weed. First of all, I shouldn't have gotten locked up. Third of all, they lied on me like a motherfucker, so I'm just gonna put this out there. Fuck CMPD. They lied like fuck, but you know, we here now. I'm here now. And I'm just gonna keep the show going at the end of the day, cause like, you know, it's like they say, you know, one monkey don't ruin the show or whatever. But I like what my OG told me after all this shit kind of transpired and shit like that. He was like, you gotta catch the circus while you can, cause the circus ain't in town forever. And that shit really run home to me, cause it's like, you know, I always knew it's not something I was gonna do forever. It's not something I want to do forever. I don't want to fucking be at the whim of other people to make a fucking living or anything like that. So that's why I'm trying to make it the legal way. That's why I'm trying to do it the legal way, man. I'm trying to go legit. And, you know, you love me, you support me or whatever. I hope that you could, you know, like, comment, follow, and subscribe or whatever the hell. You know what I mean? And, I'm not just trying to make any old regular old content or anything like that. Like, I really want to make content that actually matters and that actually can maybe make a difference in somebody's life. Like, yeah, I want to make comedy and stuff like that because I'm funny. At least I think I'm funny, and other people think that I'm funny. Or at least that's what they say. I don't know if they just gassing me or whatever, but yeah, you know, I'm just trying to push a more realistic narrative. Like I know people like to have like gimmicks and niches and stuff like that. Like, but really, my niche is being spontaneous and quirky and different. Like and also inquisitive. most importantly, I like to figure shit out. Like, it took me a long time to figure out how to be a good hustler, you know what I mean? And now I have that hustler mentality where, like, I'm always trying, I'm either always calculating, or I'm always trying to figure out how I'm gonna make my next best step, how I'm gonna make my next dollar or whatever. Like, it doesn't necessarily stop. So, like, if you like me and you just want to see a better change in your life, it ain't nothing wrong with it. It sucks because, you got a lot of people that depend on you. And you can't always arrive to that moment, you know what I mean? And it's just a little bit different. I'm just trying to take the things that I learned in the game that I had been in for like 7-8 years or whatever, and just kind of like transform it. Like, but this is, and even before then, it's like, even as a young adult, like from 14 all the way till 29, I've always known about the game. But, like, it's like, it's kind of hard to explain to other people, right? Because, like, I didn't grow up in the circumstances every other person like me might have or whatever. Because people, again, they'll look at me and be like, you know but hey, I really be having motion, bruh. And at the end of the day, like, even though I'm legit, like, and I'm going legit and stuff like that, like, people still route with me, people still fuck with me. Yeah, it's not on the same type of time, but, like, I'm just trying to provide a different kind of service to people, that doesn't put me at risk anymore. And just for my son and my girl, to be real with you. My family is extremely important, and it's really hard to find a balance between working a legitimate job, hustling, being a dad. And I don't know if making YouTube content makes it easier or anything like that, but honestly, I'll take any shot that I can to just put us in a better situation or whatnot, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if you don't try, you'll never find out. And if you never try, you'll never get anywhere, or you'll never even make any kind of progress. And at the end of the day, that's the important part. You gotta do it for them, the people that matter most to you. I can only hope that I live up to some of these things that I say. I'm not even sure if any of this makes any sense. I really just hope that, you guys really do love and care, or if you don't love and care, maybe you listen to this and maybe you can find some encouragement, bruh. Yo, don't let nobody knock your hustle. Don't let any situation make you feel like you can't get up and do better, like you can't get up the next day and try to progress yourself. Because, there's no better chance than another tomorrow, you know what I mean? You wake up every day, you got another 24 hours to try and make it right. And you don't even know if you got that. So, just try to make every fucking minute count, every second count. Don't be so harsh on yourself. Because nobody has it figured out. Nobody has it figured out. Nobody has it figured out. And that's a beautiful part about life, bro. Like, we're constantly growing and potentially evolving. Like, I want you guys to be thinking in a more positive manner when it comes to, like, the way you could evolve. Like, we be going through all of these different things, and, like, it's hard, and sometimes it seems like it's fucked up or whatever, bro. But don't let that shit make you feel like you gotta, like, stop. Like, don't stop, bro. If anything, you take a step back and then you approach it a different way. Like, just know it's not impossible, right? And look, I'm not making no bread off of none of this right now. I'm not making no bread off YouTube. I'm not making no bread off of Instagram or anything like that. But like, I just figure if I take my hustle mentality and I put it into creating content, going out there and asking people questions that really that really matters, or that really kind of gets into the mind of how people in the region in which I stay in for right now feel about certain things. Like, if I could get around the world and get to ask people all kinds of different questions, like, I would love that opportunity. And like, that's something I guess I would say I'm working towards. Like, I would love, because like at the end of the day, I think what matters the most sometimes is like the little people's voice. You know what I mean? Like, as like a person, it feels like sometimes, even though they're saying amazing things, they're not always being listened to. I know how that feels, you know what I mean? Like, I know how it feels to try and say something, to try and stand up for something. And like, it just seems like it doesn't even matter, bro. But it does. It's a long form ass video. And if you're staying along this long, I really appreciate you so much. Like, man, I really do appreciate it. Because I think that's important, bro. I feel like that's something that's lacking. Like, we got all these people that are in the news. They're new news anchor personalities and shit like that. Like, bro, come on, bro. Why you gotta be a character, bro? Why can't you just be yourself? Like, don't get me wrong. I got my brand. It is what it is. The real Jim Jeans. But I really thought about that. Cause like, just kind of going along in the process of like, knowing I gotta branch out. I can't have myself just working, a legit job and then doing what I did on the side. Like, you know what I mean? That shit wasn't always gonna fly. When my son gets older, it's not always gonna it's just not gonna fly. Like, I know I have to live a different way in a sense, just because it is what it is at the end of the day. It's a young man's sport. And maybe I'm not so young anymore. I'm thankful for it though. A lot of people will say like, "Oh, why was you doing this? Why did you do that or whatever?" Like, bro, man, shut the fuck up, bro. I was doing it because I felt like that was the only way in America I could fucking even make a way for myself to breathe sometimes. A lot of people got it. I mean, I'm not trying to complain or nothing like that, but like that's just what it is at the end of the day. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to feel like I have to work overtime at a job that I already spend most of my days at. Like, no, I love my job, love everybody I work with, but that's not the way I want to live. Just not the way I want to live, gang. And I'm sure a lot of y'all could understand and can relate to that. Like really, that's really why I'm trying to really hop on this, entrepreneur wave. Like, really sending my brand and really being myself, and just trying to prepare myself, and not only just preparing myself, but preparing myself to teach my son.